Yes, welcome back everyone to another episode of 416 Yardy. Now today's episode is traffic on the Don Valley Parkway. Wow. Actually it's not so bad today, I've seen worse. Right? So if you're ever in Toronto and you're going downtown or leaving from downtown and you take the Don Valley Parkway or the Gardner, traffic. Sometimes you have no choice, like in my situation, I have no choice. But my advice to anyone that's going downtown, if they could just take the subway, take the subway. Yeah, people. Actually, this morning is not so bad, at least at this time of the day. It's actually flowing, right? It's actually moving a little bit, but usually it's bumper to bumper, right? You would literally, the Don Valley Parkway may be at max maybe 20 kilometers. You could fact check me on that. But yeah, that 20 kilometers at times could even take 3 hours to complete. That's how bad it is at times. So like I said, this morning it's not so bad. It's flowing a little bit. Thank God for that. Amen for that. But usually both ways is bad. The only time it's usually free is like overnight. And at times overnight it's still traffic, right? I'll be honest with you, Toronto is slowly becoming New York City, the city that never sleeps. Oh shit. Like usually at time before in the past, there's certain times of the day where traffic would flow. But right through the friggin' day we have traffic on the DVP, the 401, like there's no easing up. Like I tell you this morning, it's not so bad. Look. It's not so bad. It's flowing a little bit, but usually it's 100% worse than this. But yeah, people, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, right? This is a little driving in the 416 yard, man. Yeah, man. Jamaican T-Dot driving on the Don Valley Parkway. Right? Ridiculous. Don Valley Parkway traffic. Look. Like I tell you people, this is not so bad. This is actually good. I'm happy for that. Usually it's 100 times worse than this. But yeah. Oh, before in Toronto, let's say after 9 o'clock, the traffic would ease up, right? But now, right through the day, like if you drive like between 9 and 2 o'clock, traffic would be good. Now, it's traffic right through the day. I can't understand it. Right through the day. Traffic. Look, people, look. Traffic. Right? And like I tell you people, it's actually flowing good. Traffic on the Don Valley Parkway. Right? Another episode. Right? Thank God I'm going to exit soon. I'm going to exit at Don Mills. Right? Usually you take Don Mills, but if you go right to Eglinton right there, there's a traffic there, so it doesn't even make sense. It's just best you stay on the DVP, right? Wow. But like I said, people, it's actually flowing, because usually it doesn't move this fast. It does not move this fast, right? Traffic on the Don Valley Parkway, right? Wow, I made a mistake, because if you look, people, Eglinton, not so bad. There's an accident right there. Wonder what's going on. None of my business. Right, people? Drink water and mind your business. That's the paramedic job to do. Big them up. Big up Toronto Fire. Big up Toronto Paramedics. Big up Toronto Police.
In 3 kilometers, take exit 7A for Don Mills Road.
Yeah, people. Traffic. Right? Like I said, people, it's actually flowing. It's not so bad this morning. But right through the day, over the last few years, right? And like I tell you before, traffic would flow. But I think one of the problem is when you drive in Toronto, they drop the speed limit. Most of the roads are like 30 or 40 kilometers. Yes, I know you understand safety, but there's a problem to that. It causes more traffic on the road, right? I think if a lot of those roads could easily be 50 or 60, and that will allow things to move better, more fluid. But a lot of people that live actually in the city and those posh people, right? They're against drivers. I don't know what it is, but so when that happens, it's just everything else slows down. That's just my 2 cents. But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion, right? So with things slowing down so much, it causes a little more jam up here, but they don't see that, right? But yeah, look at that, people. Traffic on the DVP. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Yeah, man, share up the thing. Yeah, people, don't forget to share up the thing. Wow, this is ridiculous. Traffic blocking. Y'all come down in our tights and stocking. Watch our hairstyle whopping. But yeah, I don't know if you could see the skyline a little bit way out in the distance. But yeah, one thing about Toronto, even though it's a large metropolis, you have a lot of parks and trees and stuff, and it kinds of blend in, which I love, right? So if anybody out there that's never been to Toronto, I encourage y'all to visit. Yeah, and the Blue Jays is playing for the World Series, so this weekend's gonna be crazy. Vibes Cartel coming this weekend. Raptors playing this weekend. Hey, Toronto's gonna be lit this weekend. Yeah, man. Traffic on the DVP, yeah, people. Look, flowing. Traffic. Anybody that's ever driven on this road can tell you. Especially in rush hour, oh God. Right? So that's why I bring my Jamaican style of driving sometimes. You have to know side streets. So sometimes when I come on the DVP, I try my best to get off and take some side streets to get out of the city. And that's how I know about those 30 kilometers or road. I understand safety, but you gotta have balance, right? And I think these people are overdoing it. That's just my 2 cents, so, right? It slows down the economy, production of everything. Everything is crazy. But thank God I'll be exiting soon. So yeah, people. Another episode of 416 Yardy. Hit up that like, share, and subscribe button. Yeah, man, like, share, and subscribe. Right? We want to get to 1,000 subscribers. Right? That's what we want to do. So share it up. Let your friends know about your friends. Let your friends. You don't have to be a Jamaican, Canadian, wherever you're from in the world. Philippines, Germany. Right? Tell them about 416 Yardy. Right? I give you a little bit of everything. A little bit about my life, my coaching, track and field. Right? Some of my vacations. Right? But anything to do with Toronto, I'll let you guys know. The real Toronto. Big up on yourself.